Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in another video today, and today the Los Angeles Chargers have traded for Taylor Heinicke. Taylor Heinicke, who this past season with the Atlanta Falcons had 4 starts, and the team had a 1-3 record when he was their quarterback. He threw 74 for 136, which is a completion percentage of 54%, which was the worst of his career, and it's not even close. He threw 890 passing yards with 5 passing touchdowns and 4 interceptions. This was probably one of his worst years. I mean, look, he wasn't even that terrible. Outside of it, look, yes, he had a terrible completion percentage of 54%, but threw a decent amount of yards at 900 yards in 4 games, which is a little bit over 200 passing yards a game, or a little way over. It's like, I believe, almost 250 or like 225 a game, which is solid, but it's not good. He threw 5 touchdowns and he only threw 4 interceptions in those 4 games. So look, I'm not saying he was great. I'm not even saying he was amazing. But all I'm saying is he wasn't terrible. He was just solid. In 2023, when he got 4 starts for the Atlanta Falcons. And I honestly like this trade for the Chargers, if you ask me. Now, the Chargers are sending a 2025 7th-round pick to Atlanta that converts into a 2025 6th-round pick should specific conditions be met. And here's the reason why I like this deal. Obviously, they are comfortable with Justin Herbert as their starting quarterback. So am I. I mean, I have no problems with Justin Herbert at all. He's not the quarterback I have a problem with. Or I wouldn't say have a problem with. But last year, obviously, we all know Justin Herbert got hurt and missed the final 4 games of the season. And after they shut him down, they brought in Easton Stick, the backup quarterback, to be the starter. And look, he wasn't terrible in 4 starts. He threw 111 for 174, which is completion percentage of 63. He threw 1,129 passing yards with 3 passing touchdowns and 1 interception thrown. But I will say the one thing that you could say that was negative about him is, I know this is a team stat, but the team did go 0-4 when he was playing quarterback. Now, I know one of those losses was against the Las Vegas Raiders. I think you can probably blame most of that on the defense. And I think there were times where the defense was terrible, and that's why they went 0-4. But I do know there were also some close games at Easton. There were 1 or 2 close games that Easton Stick did play in, and they were not able to win. Now, I wasn't expecting them to go like 3-1 or 4-0 or even 2-2 in the 4 games that Easton Stick was the starting quarterback for. But at least 1 win would have been nice, and that's something that Taylor Heinicke was able to do last year. He went 1-3, and I know there are some stats if you compare the two. The funny thing is both of them have 4 starts, so it's kind of easier to compare the two guys. But look, Stick had a way better completion percentage, throwing 54. Having a 54 completion percentage for Heinicke compared to Stick's 63. Then 900 passing yards for Heinicke compared to Easton Stick's 1,100. So 200 more passing yards for Easton Stick. Although I know Easton Stick did throw a lot of yards against the Las Vegas Raiders. That was a game where they were down by 40 or 30 something. They were down big. So I do remember watching that Thursday Night Football, and they were passing the ball a lot. I think he threw like 300 passing yards in that game. It's kind of easy to do that when you're playing from behind like that. And if you look at it, Heinicke threw 5 touchdown passes compared to Stick's 3, and Heinicke threw 4 interceptions compared to Stick's 1. And if we're going to go over rushing yards as well, there were not a lot of rushing yards for either one of them, I don't think, but let me just make sure. 47 rushing yards for Heinicke in the 4 games, while Easton Stick in his 4 games with the Los Angeles Chargers as the starter he ended up having 122 rushing yards. So, look, if you were to ask me who do I prefer as the starting quarterback, God forbid Justin Herbert goes down. I think with Easton Stick having experience in the Chargers uniform, I'd probably still say Easton Stick. But you have another quarterback. If Herbert goes down and Stick becomes the starter, you have another quarterback that you can go to if Easton Stick is struggling. Yes, Heinicke wasn't that good in 2023, but he's had other good years. 16 games and 5 starts in 2021 with Washington. The team had a 7-8 record through 321 for 494 with a 65 completion percentage through 3,419 passing yards with 20 passing touchdowns and 14 interceptions. 2022 with Washington, 9 games, 9 starts. The team went 5-3-1. He threw 161 for 259 with a completion percentage of 62.2. He threw 1,859 passing yards with 12 passing touchdowns and 6 interceptions. So he's had good seasons in these last 3. He's had some good seasons in the last 3, with 1 with Atlanta, 2 with Washington. The only difference is Atlanta this year he was okay, but with Washington in 2022 and 2021 he did some really good things with Washington. And if we see that guy at quarterback, definitely could, you could definitely see him do some good things. And honestly, this is no hate to Arthur Smith or the coaching staff that Taylor Heinicke was with last year in Atlanta, but I look at the coaching staff that Taylor Heinicke's been with most recently in his career. I look at Ron Rivera in Washington, and I look at Arthur Smith and his coaching staff in Atlanta. I think you're way better off with a coaching staff like Jim Harbaugh, with having a head coach and offensive system that Jim Harbaugh is going to bring. We know what how successful he's been as a head coach, and the staff that is with him now. I think that's a way better staff than what Heinicke's been with having Ron Rivera in Washington, who's a defensive coach, and then also in Atlanta, Arthur Smith. Those are 2 coaches that were both fired last year. So, honestly, if you ask me, I think he's in a better coaching staff as well. Do we see Taylor Heinicke? I honestly hope not, because I want to see Justin Herbert stay healthy. Now, if we do, I honestly think if we see him, I think he's going to be a lot better than he has been, because just the fact, I think the coaching staff he'd be under and with LA is just a lot different than what we've seen him being with these last couple years with Washington, Atlanta. I think that would take a big toll on everything. So let me know your thoughts on the Chargers trading for Taylor Heinicke. I think it's great to have a good backup option for Easton Stick if you see Justin Herbert go down, because obviously we know if Justin Herbert gets injured, Easton Stick's probably going to be the starter, just because the fact that the guy that's got most experience in the organization is probably going to get the start. So Easton Stick, that means he'll probably start if Herbert goes down. But last year I didn't feel like there was another really good option for the Chargers to go to if they were not comfortable with Easton Stick. Now, thank God for them, it was only the last 4 games. It wasn't a long period, but if it were to be a long period this time, you have another option and another guy like Taylor Heinicke, who has started a total of 29 games in his career. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out.